Hello, and welcome to our next episode in the series on AI agents, where we explore how AI agents can revolutionize tasks at every level, from individuals to entire enterprises. I'm Karan Gupta, and today we are going to talk about activating AI agents at the grassroots level, ensuring even small teams or pilot projects can leverage the power of AI effectively. In this episode, we'll cover a quick recap of the four agentic archetypes, a reminder of the core capabilities needed for holistic AI agent innovation, some real world grassroots use cases aligned to each archetype across personal productivity and domain specific tasks in insurance, finance, tech, and healthcare. Then we'll talk about what's required to move from low to medium maturity at the grassroots level, and some foundational questions you need to answer to set up those capabilities as a leader. So let's begin with where we left off on agentic archetypes and holistic enterprise AI capabilities. All right. So we identified four main types of AI agents, each designed to serve different purposes. Number one was focus task agents, which were single goal or narrowly focused. Example, sorting HR job applications or scheduling meetings. They're easy to implement but limited in scope. Number two, process agents. They handle end to end workflows like order to cash. They decompose large processes into smaller tasks, often connecting multiple systems. Number three, partner agents. These are team like agents that collaborate and provide real time suggestions, like a marketing campaign assistant or code pairing bot. They proactively interact with users akin to a digital colleague. Number four, orchestrators. These are high level agents that coordinate tasks across multiple subagents or entire workflows. They act as managers, overseeing resources, departments, or complex projects. Understanding which archetype fits a particular use case helps leaders decide how to approach AI agent deployment and where to focus activation within an enterprise. Now, let's do a quick recap of the core capabilities and enterprise needs to activate AI agents from grassroots to enterprise level. So, we typically focus on six capability dimensions. One was people and processes. So, this is about cross functional collaboration, domain expertise, governance, and overall lifecycle management. Number two, technology. Front end interfaces, AI ML tooling, integration, and infrastructure readiness. Number three, data. It's all about ingestion, preparation, quality checks, pipelines, etc. Number four, controls. Access and authorization, monitoring, human in loop checkpoints. Number five, security. Identity and access management, threat detection, encryption, and sixth, and the very important part, responsible AI, which is about ethical guidelines, bias detection, transparency, compliance, and regulations. While these capabilities apply at every level, today's focus is going to be on grassroots, where capabilities may be lighter initially, but you still require a foundational approach for responsible growth. And as a leader, it is very important to understand what is the bare minimum needed for activating AI agents at a grassroots level so that you can create a spirit of innovation while making sure that all the AI agents that are being developed are well under control. Now, let's explore practical use cases that can thrive at the grassroots level. I'll break them down into two parts. The first is personal productivity related tasks, and second is domain specific tasks. And we will visualize how, at each level or each agent type, these particular types of tasks map into real use cases. First, let's think about personal productivity. Here, if you think, what type of agentic AI use cases will fit under the first agent type, which is focus task agents? That is about calendar and meeting management. So imagine an AI that can scan calendars for open time slots and auto schedule meetings. Think about email triage and summaries. This is about classifying emails by priority or topic, which highlights key action points. This simplifies inbox management, particularly for senior managers or staff inundated by emails. For the next type of agent, which is the process agent, some of the personal productivity use cases would be like task and time management assistant. This is where it integrates with calendars, to-do apps, schedules tasks based on deadlines. It offers an end-to-end workflow for personal task allocation and scheduling. Another example for partner agent for personal productivity task would be content drafting and brainstorming. So AI that drafts blog posts, emails, or presentations, suggests rephrasings, it augments creativity, speeds up routine writing tasks. Another example of a use case within Partner Agent would be personalized learning and skills development. So, this Partner Agent recommends courses, articles, or training sessions aligned with career goals. It encourages continuous self improvement at the grassroots level. The second classification is the domain specific tasks. Now, these domain specific tasks are very specific to what type of domain a user or an employee works on. And here I'll take some illustrative examples from insurance, finance, tech, and healthcare domains. But there are a plethora of use cases that can apply to many more domains. So let's talk about insurance. One of the use case for focus task would be a simple policy lookup, which is like quick retrieval of policy details, ensuring that frontline staff have up-to-date info. A use case under process agent would be claims pre-processing, which automates data extraction, classification of incoming claims, and routes them for final review. An example under partner agent would be like policy comparison and recommendation. This helps staff propose policy options to customers, factoring in coverage needs. A mini orchestrator for policy review, which coordinates sub-agents handling policy documents, underwriting rules, and claim details. Let's talk about some use cases in finance. A focus task agent would be like a basic expense categorization, which auto sorts expenses for small teams or individuals. An example under process agent would be something like accounts reconciliation, which matches bank statements to internal records, flags discrepancies. An example under partner agent would be like basic financial advisory and modeling, which suggests scenario modeling for small scale investment and budgeting. Some of the examples under tech domain, which is the software and IT domain. An example of focus task agent would be automated code snippet generation, which recommends common code templates. An example under process agent would be something like a system health monitoring and alerting, which consolidates logs, triggers alerts for anomalies or resource spikes. An example under partner agent would be like a pair programming assistant, which offers real time suggestions or code reviews within the IDE. Another one would be a lightweight orchestrator for local development and deployment, which coordinates code integration, testing, container deployment across microservices. Now, thinking about some examples under the healthcare domain, a focus task agent could be something like a medical literature summarizer. It summarizes key findings from papers relevant to a clinician's specialty. Another example would be like a preliminary patient intake and symptom assessment, which guides patient data collection in small clinics or for telehealth. An example under process agent would be something like a inventory and supply management, which tracks medication usage, stock levels, reordering, etc. Another example would be like coordinated scheduling and resource allocation, which manages subagents which handle appointments, staff rosters, or equipment usage. A use case under partner agent would be something like a patient intake copilot, which assists front desk staff in triaging patients, scheduling tests. So, if you see, there are a variety of use cases under both productivity as well as domain specific. As a leader, the way you need to think about it is what are some of the key use cases that apply to your enterprise, and having them built using AI agents at a grassroots level rather than trying to build them at an enterprise level is where innovation starts off. So now that you have an idea about what kind of use cases can thrive at a grassroots level for your enterprise, now it's time to think about what are the bare minimum lightweight capabilities that are needed to activate grassroots level employees for AI agent innovation. So imagine the first dimension, which is people and process. This is where we need to activate domain experts, which is like identifying pool of specialists, business, IT, data science, who can refine AI agent requirements and understand their domain really well. Having a very clear use case submission process, creating a simple pipeline for employees to propose new AI agents concept. It's very important to foster innovation at the grassroots level. Having the right playbooks for the employees is key to success. The second dimension is technology. Having front end tools like basic interface, be it web or chat, so that end users can interact with the agent. Having the right AI ML tooling, which is what are the minimal set of libraries or platforms that are needed for model development. What are some of the integration platforms that are needed? Low code, no code platforms that can help the grassroots employees develop quick prototypes, submit quick use cases, and show quick progress. Having a small scale cloud instance or local servers for prototyping helps establish the right infrastructure. Let's look at the third dimension, which is data. Having better and simple ingestion pipelines, like clear rules on how data can be collected, whether it is emails or databases or user inputs. Basic preparation techniques Like, what is the basic data cleaning, labeling process to ensure consistent and usable data? We don't want to get to comprehensive data governance, data management, lineage, tracing at this level. We want simple ingestion, preparation, playbooks defined that employees at the grassroots level can use. Controls is the fourth dimension. So think about access and authorization, which is basic user management, so that you can ensure only authorized staff can alter agent logic or very sensitive data. Having simple dashboards and logs to track agent performance. Nothing very comprehensive needed, but simple monitoring to ensure usage is under guidelines. Having human in the loop, like defined checkpoints for critical decisions and fallback options. Teaching the employees when to use human in the loop, how to use human in the loop, what kind of tooling is available to them for human in the loop processing. The fifth dimension was security, having basic identity and access management, lightweight but robust for credential storage. Typically, something like a single sign on or managed access keys. Keeping it simple at this level for grassroots is key for them to quickly adopt low code, no code tooling and build AI agent use cases. The value at this level is not in building comprehensive enterprise grade systems, but being able to codify the business processes in a lightweight manner, because the real knowledge, the domain expertise actually sits at the grassroots level. The sixth dimension is responsible AI. Having basic do's and don'ts for agent usage, setting up basic ethical guidelines, and trainings, short sessions or documentation teaching staff about AI's limitations, best practices, etc. Having these bare minimum capabilities enabled in the right manner with the right communication to the employees will greatly increase their morale, will activate innovation at that level, and will foster a culture of sharing code, of sharing logic, and digitizing logic. Let's talk in a little detail about the people and process related capabilities that are needed to activate AI agents at a grassroots level. So, you need to have a very clearly defined use case submission process to ensure enterprise wide data collection. So, as you enable AI use cases and AI agents at the grassroots level, you will see thousands and thousands of AI agent model deployments. There has to be a structured way to collect use cases, group them into the right archetypes so that once we get to the next stage, we are able to normalize these agents over time. We need to give the right trainings to the staff to utilize ready to use tooling as much as possible for personal productivity use cases like scheduling assistant, email assistant, etc. There are tools out of the box available by Microsoft like Copilot, Power Automate tools, etc., which do not require coding but provide out of the box experience. So the idea is, how can you minimize coding for the out of the box experience while maximize custom development for very differentiating domain specific use cases? And that is the next part, which is, what is the training needed for staff to use low code, no code platforms to develop quick AI agent automation for their domain specific use cases? And this is where the real value, the real knowledge extraction from grassroots level employees comes in. There has to be clear best practices designed to document domain knowledge, tribal knowledge, or processes which can be codified in the AI agents. And this codification of tribal knowledge is best going to happen at the grassroots level because that is where this knowledge really exists. Having clearly outlined prioritization principle, like what is quick win, what is an easy to pilot, why are you making a quick win versus why are you codifying a easy to pilot use case. This is important to ensure that employees understand and have a single meaning of which use cases to automate organically. Let's talk about the technology capabilities needed to activate AI agents at grassroots level. This is extremely important because having consistent tech and tooling, even if basic tooling, at an enterprise level, across various departments, across various business units, will be key to success as you normalize and as you roll up use cases from grassroots to department, from department to BU. So, some of the key capabilities to set up as a leader are: what are some of the user interface like chat, web forms, tooling that the grassroots agents will have? What tooling is available to the employees so that they can develop quick prototypes, they can use it, launch it in smaller groups? How will they connect with other small scale tools or system like point to point integration? We want to make lives simpler for the employees, even though it may be some degree of fragmentation, but that's the cost of innovation. Which frameworks, libraries like open source, low code tools do employees have access to? Having clearly defined them and training the employees to use those low code tools, open source tools at the grassroots level is key. What are the computing resources like cloud account access, SaaS tools that are available to the grassroots level employees so that they can host and run AI agents reliably? Having this clearly defined is important because you don't want different employees, different groups to be using different set of tooling, which I see across different enterprises happening very commonly. You need to have a very clearly defined tech and tooling options across the enterprise for consistency, and having an approach of outreach where you proactively educate the grassroots employees that you can use these tech and tools for such and such use cases will open up their minds to innovate faster. Some of the illustrative tools that you'll see in this space when you talk about user interface, like the chat and the web form interface, could be via Slack, could be via Microsoft Teams, could be through the Microsoft Power Platform. Some of the ways, frameworks, and libraries to connect with other systems could be like LangChain, LangGraph, Na10, etc. The computing resources, it's better to use either some ready to use AI SaaS platforms or have them deploy their AI agents on the cloud like AWS, Azure, GCP, etc. Having a clearly defined tech and tooling approach, it could be one of these tools or it could be a different set of tooling. The idea is to compare the tools and identify which ones are best for your usage. This landscape is changing really fast. So the idea is not to pick up the best because things are going to change in matter of days, but to have a very clear foundation established and make sure your employees understand that this landscape is changing very rapidly in terms of the tech and tooling. In our next episode, we'll go deeper into some of the critical capabilities needed to activate AI agents at the grassroots level, specifically focusing on data, which is like what are some of the more advanced considerations for handling unstructured data or real time feeds. About controls, how do you set up monitoring, logging to keep track of agent decisions. Security, how do you expand on identity management and encryption? Responsible AI, what are some of the basic ethical guidelines and trainings that you should proactively launch for the employees at the grassroots level? We'll explore how these elements evolve as you push from low to medium maturity within a single department and across teams. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of grassroots AI agent use cases and the capabilities required to move from low to medium level of maturity. I hope this gives you practical insights on where to start, what framework to think about, and how to refine your existing pilot projects to bring them into a common structure where you do not inhibit innovation but ensure you are going in the right trajectory for enterprise level scaling. If you found this valuable, please consider sharing it with your colleagues who might be looking to jumpstart their own AI initiatives. I appreciate your feedback. Feel free to leave me a comment or question, and don't forget to tune in next time when we tackle data, controls, security, and responsible AI aspect for grassroots level innovation. Until then, I am Karan Gupta, and this has been Igniting AI at the Grassroots. Stay curious, stay innovative, and we'll see you in the next episode.